Most men completely miss the moment a woman starts thinking about them. You're just going about your day, doing your thing, and suddenly she texts you out of nowhere. No reason, no question, just a random message. And for a second, you think, wait, was she just thinking about me? Chances are she was. Here's what most men don't understand about attraction. When you leave the room, attraction doesn't just disappear. In fact, for many women, that's when it actually gets stronger, because now she's alone with her thoughts. And if you made an impression on her, your presence doesn't just fade away, it lingers. It pops back into her mind when she hears a song, when she sees something that reminds her of you, or when she's just sitting there with nothing to distract her. And before she even realizes it, you're back in her head. In this video, I'm going to show you 8 signs she's thinking about you even when you're not around. Some of these signs are obvious, but a few of them most men completely miss. Number 1. She texts you randomly with no real reason. Not because she needs something, not because there's an ongoing conversation, just random messages. Maybe she sends you a meme, a song, or a message like "This reminded me of you." Sometimes it's late at night, something simple like, "Lol, this is so you." That's not random. That's what happens when someone pops into your mind and instead of ignoring it, you act on it. Here's the truth. People don't text for no reason. Every message has a trigger. And when the trigger is simply you existing in her thoughts, that means you're already living rent-free in her mind. Number 2. She remembers tiny things you said weeks ago. You mentioned once that you hate olives. 2 weeks later, she says something like, "I saw a pizza place and immediately thought you'd hate it." Or maybe you mentioned a movie you wanted to see, and a month later she randomly brings it up again. That's not coincidence. Memory is selective. Your brain only keeps things it finds important. So if she remembers the small details about you, it means she replayed that conversation later. She thought about it again. And that means she thought about you again. Number 3. She's active on your social media at weird hours. Not just liking posts, watching your stories late at night, replying to something you posted days ago, maybe even liking an older photo. Social media behavior rarely lies, because when someone ends up on your profile at 1 in the morning, they weren't just randomly scrolling. They were looking for you specifically. And late at night is when distractions disappear, which means whatever was on her mind during the day finally gets her full attention. And sometimes that attention is on you. Number 4. She brings you up in conversations with other people. You might not always hear about this directly, but sometimes it comes back to you. A mutual friend might say, "Oh yeah, she mentioned you." Or you find out she repeated a joke you made. Or she told someone about something you said. Here's the reality. People don't talk about people who mean nothing to them. If she's bringing you up when you're not around, it means you're still present in her mind, and that's a bigger sign than most guys realize. Number 5. She responds unusually fast to certain messages. Not every message, but specific ones. Maybe something flirty, maybe something personal, or something that reminds her of an inside moment between you two. Suddenly, the reply comes almost instantly. That's because when she's already thinking about you, she's also subconsciously waiting for you. And when your name appears on her phone, she's already in that mindset. Number 6. She asks about things happening in your life. Not just surface-level small talk, but real follow-ups. Things like, "How did that thing go that you were stressed about?" Or, "Did you figure out that situation you mentioned before?" Here's the difference most men miss. Friendly people ask polite questions, but invested people remember details. If she's checking back on something you mentioned weeks ago, it means she kept thinking about your life after the conversation ended. Number 7. Her energy changes when you show up again. You haven't talked for a few days. Then you message her, or you see her again, and suddenly something shifts. She's lighter, more relaxed, more playful. It's subtle, but you can feel it. That change happens when someone has been thinking about you but hasn't had an outlet for it yet.
And when you finally appear again, that built-up energy releases.
Number 8. She casually includes you in future plans. She won't say it directly, but she might say things like, "We should check that place out sometime," or "You'd probably like this event." Or she talks about something happening months from now as if you'll both still be talking. That matters, because when someone imagines you in their future, it means you're already living there in their mind. People don't picture a future with someone they never think about.
Here's what most men don't realize. The kind of attraction that makes someone think about you when you're not around doesn't come from trying harder. It doesn't come from texting more. It doesn't come from chasing. It comes from having a presence that lingers, from being someone who has his own life, his own direction, and his own calm confidence. When you become that kind of man, you don't need to force attraction, because even when you leave, a part of you stays in her mind. And if she's showing 4 or more of these signs, stop overthinking it. You're already in her head. But here's the part most men don't realize. Once a woman starts thinking about you, she doesn't just hand the attraction over. She tests you. And most men fail those tests without even realizing they're being tested. In the next video, I'm breaking down 7 signs she's testing you. And most men completely miss number 3. Make sure you watch that next.